Hi, this is Jill Geisdorf, Senior Interior Designer with Chic on the Cheap, and this is interview numero dos with people around town that you might not know, but I think you should know. So today is not coffee, today's wine. This is Thomas Morgan. We are at his wine shop. This is Seagrape. It is way too close to my house. My husband is here a lot. I am here a lot. My favorite thing is it is not intimidating. It is not pretentious. They treat you like friends. Put you on the spot. All right, very good. And so Thomas is going to take a few minutes, tell us about his shop and why he loves wine and what makes his place a little bit different.
So, thanks, Jill.
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers. Little J. LaSalle champagne for our discussion here. It's always good to have a little wine when you're discussing wine. It's kind of doesn't fit if you don't. Yeah. This shop is my first solo endeavor. My wife Emily and I have done this. We started 5 years ago. We're in year 5 after almost 20 years in the business, so that I could be back in town, focused on home, near my kids. And also kind of bringing what I thought was missing when I didn't have a shop. I had a shop 15 years ago here, back into town, which is focusing on wine as food, as a product that is grown, made by hand, from somewhere, by someone, as opposed to the drinks business, greater industry, which you can get a drink anywhere.
So
Real
if somebody,
wine is hard to find.
if somebody comes in and says, well, I like brand X, Y, and Z, you say, oh, cool, that's great. What would you suggest?
So that's the general feel here, is rather than trying to tell you what you should drink or trying to be on trend, whether that be one angle or another in the wine business, there are lots of trends. We're trying to show that it's sort of a timeless, universal part of being into food. And so if you're a foodie, you should also drink better wine. The only way you can drink better wine is if someone is introducing you to what is the difference between the affordable or the thing in my price range at Publix, no offense against Publix, or any big box model, versus a small shop. Why go out of your way? And I think the analogy that works for most people is either the idea of going to a cheese shop where you know that there is a fromagier who's going to show you what's up with cheese and why they bought it and how it's made, and how natural it is, or a butcher shop, right? Which a lot of people don't use butchers. You and I luckily live close enough to one right here. That is great. And you go for the expertise. When you go to a butcher shop, you're usually not sold something. They're not saying to you, the only piece of meat you should buy today is that one.
Right.
You go in, you say what you're interested in, what your needs are, how many people, what kind of seasonality, what other things you're making, and then that's how we view it. It's let's fit the wine to your budget, to your current taste, or your adventurous side, and you're looking to do something else with wine. So you're looking to understand what the kids are talking about with natural wine, or you're looking at getting into sparkling and you're not sure. You know it all as champagne, or you only know it as Prosecco, and you may or may not like that, and you want to know why. And so the best way to do that is just to get to know people. We keep a history for you under your name here, which is an essential piece of the customer service, so that you can come back. We can say to you, oh, well, last time you had these things, what did you think?
Sense. Yeah.
And it sounds a little cliched, but the easiest way for us to get to know you is to know what you didn't like and what you don't want, because most of us who like food and wine are adventurous enough to say, well, there's too much out there that I think I want to try. How do I limit it? And so you can limit it by, I don't drink sparkling, or I don't like white wine, or I don't want anything with sugar, or I don't want anything without a little bit of sugar. Okay.
So what other things happen here? Like, I'll come in on a Friday and this place is full.
A lot of this.
So what are you doing?
A lot of swirling.
Yeah.
Even if it's water, we're habituated, and a lot of drinking of it. And then, so we do. This is a wine bar license. We don't really run it as you may have seen, we don't really run it as a formal wine bar where you have seats or reservations or a server. It's more like a public house. You come in, you are
That's a
yourself.
good description. I like
Everything that we do here on premise, you're allowed to buy those wines just at retail price. There's no argument about what you're going to pay. There's no need to tip here because we don't give you any service. And so people tend to just sort of buy things that they want and buy something maybe that is in their price range that they want to experiment with or show to someone else that they love. So I've had people come in and say, oh, no, we're going to drink one of these white wines because I had it 2 weeks ago. I loved it. You've got to try it. And then that mixing is wonderful because without any formality to it, I also allow people to share. I mean, if you are buying a bottle and you're sitting around and somebody else has a bottle and you guys want to share, that is a great way to learn and from other people rather than from us, and also to taste things that aren't necessarily in your price range.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And then every now and again, you also will have food here. Like a few weeks
Yes.
ago, you had somebody making fish sandwiches out back.
Right, so fish
That was
sandwich
cool.
night,
That
as
was
I
cool.
generically call it, is our greatest thing that we do with Chef Michael Calvino of Spare Kitchen in Bradenton. He's a caterer, CIA trained chef. So we have him come in, he'll go to AP Bell in Cortez, pick whole fish, fresh off the boat, tell me what he's got, fillet it out, tell me how many sandwiches we've got, and then we sell to the last sandwich. So usually about 40 or 50. And that's an unbelievable deal, $20 for a full glass of wine, a fish sandwich and a side, and made by a couple who are at the beginnings of their forming a family and kind of getting their careers going.
Yeah, that's right. She had a big old belly on her,
Oh
didn't
yeah,
she?
Claire's
Oh
pregnant. She's, baby coming.
So, aside from all the unique things that you do here, why would somebody from out of town want to come here? Would they maybe learn something new? Could they make a new friend?
So yeah, there's the social element of this for sure. I mean, even though I wasn't born and raised here, I consider myself local after 22 years. And so you will definitely always meet locals, not necessarily people who've born and raised here, but you'll meet people who are from here. And it's a wide demographic. The wine world is really kind of like broadens out your social life because you've got folks that come to it from farming or come to it from science or come to it from cooking. There's a lot of different affinities that bring you into a wine scene. And so, yeah, I consider myself to be a local in Sarasota. I do have some opinions about places to eat and things to do. But we try to make sure that everyone is welcome regardless of whether or not they moved here 3 months ago or whether 30 years ago. It doesn't really matter to us. And it does, there is quite a nice network. So, if you are in need of a plumber, you're in need of, some
You'd be
advice about
surprised who you run
schools.
into here.
Yeah, a
You
lot
would
of
be.
people, a lot of great conversations are had here. And, yeah.
So before we leave, what is your favorite wine of the moment?
So favorite wine thing is a little bit tough in the industry.
What
but,
did you drink last night?
So on Sunday here at the shop, we got together and had a who knows wine night, meaning older things that people aren't sure if they're in good shape or not, maybe purchased through auction, that kind of thing. So everybody brought their own wine. We actually weren't open for business. If somebody wants to do this kind of thing, we can talk about doing it. So we had older wines, and the real winners were these older California cabs. I mean, like from the 80s. So 85, 87, an Engelnook, and an old Mondavi, and then a 94 Pine Ridge Stag's Leap cab. They were just all singing. And the oldest wine that was holding up was a 75 Rioja that was great. And then there was a 60s Gattinara, which is Nebbiolo from Piedmont, but it was...
Was it skunked?
Yeah, it had TCA, cork paint.
Oh, okay.
Which, yeah. We can talk about
I
flaws
would
all
say,
day. There's a bunch of different versions of them, but the thing to know here too is that if a wine is flawed, it's flawed. We take care of it. It would be like going shopping and buying broken eggs. You're going to return them.
Very
it
good.
happens.
Very good. Well, thank you very much. I
Jill,
appreciate the
pleasure to
information.
have you here.
Cheers. Cheers, guys. Bye.